Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Arbuckle. Welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to share with you guys some tips and tricks for winning almost every game that you play in Fortnite Battle Royale and pretty much guaranteeing your spot in the top 10 every single game that you play. Me and my friends have been playing this game so much recently. It is so much fun. If you haven't downloaded it already, I highly encourage you to download it for Battle Royale. It is free on Xbox and PlayStation right now. But yeah, I just wanted to share with you guys some tips and tricks that have helped us to win so much recently to hopefully help some of you guys win more. So the first thing you want to do is to plan a smart and safe drop-off. So many people tend to just pick a location, drop down, loot, and kind of just wing it. And that's not the way to go if you want to try to win the game. You want to have a set location. You want to have a path. Now, I know the storm circle isn't always the same because it changes all the time. But you should generally have an idea of which way you're going to go and get to where you need to be. For example, when I play with my friends, we have one specific location that we always hit. Now, we don't always hit the same exact spot in that location, but we always hit the same location because we know the area very well. We know where everything is going to be, and by the time we get to that location, maybe there might be another team there, there might be other people that are engaging from different locations, but we know the area well. We know where we're going to get stuff, and if people go to the first spot that we want to land, we have a second spot. We have a plan B, we have a plan C, and we know where we're going to end up after looting and getting all of our materials. Then we have a strategy. And that's the way you want to go when you're playing this game. You don't want to kind of just wing it because then you put yourself in such a difficult situation to win, especially when you have people that already have a plan. So pick a smart location, a safe drop-off. I'll tell you guys, when we play, we always have a main house that we want to target, but we know that there's two farmhouses, a farm, and an ice cream truck that always have chests, that always have good stuff that are off the beaten path, but are along that house route. Yeah. They're not in big towns or big cities located on the map, so they're not initial targets that people are going to land at, but they're there. So when we drop down, we pay attention to where other people are going, and we're able to see, like, okay, no one's at the house, let's take the house. And if we see that, hey, no one landed at the barn, no one landed at the two farmhouses, maybe we'll split up and we'll make sure we get everything before more people move in. So again, just plan a smart and safe drop-off and communicate with your teammates. If you're playing alone, you know what to do. Just have a smart and safe drop-off location. And the second tip is to loot and move. I think the biggest issue people have when playing this game is that they're way too slow. You have to be very, very quick to be successful at this game, and you want to put yourself in a position where people are coming to you. It's a lot more difficult to be the one that's trying to outrun the storm and have people already safe, ready to take you out when you can't shoot because you're too busy running. So you got to be really, really quick. Now, for example, like I said, we have a strategy, right? We're able to loot like 4 different houses in the first minute of the game. So keep moving. Don't get stuck in one spot too long. I know a lot of people end up sitting in one spot and tearing random stuff down. They're like, hey, I'm going to go get this that's upstairs, even though it's not that good. But they end up wasting more time, and then they have to spend more time running instead of looting other buildings because they're not going to make it to the storm circle in time. So loot and move really, really quickly, and keep all the doors closed to all of the buildings that you go inside of. If you leave them open, it's obvious that you were in there or were in there, and enemies might know your location. So always keep those doors closed. It'll help you out a lot more in the long run. The third tip that I have for you is kind of similar to what I just said, and that's to use buildings as traps by keeping the doors closed. A lot of things you can do is if you're in the main circle, if you get lucky and you spawn and the circle keeps closing in on you and you never really have to go anywhere, what you can do is not only can you set the traps that you find in chests and in the middle of the game, but you can keep the doors closed and create your own traps, right? If there's a house or maybe a small farm, what you can do is you can keep the doors closed and you can camp near it, because what's the first thing you do when you see a building that's completely closed? You go inside thinking, all right, well, there's probably going to be loot in here. It doesn't look like anyone's been here. And people tend to get a little bit more careless, and they're not as cautious. So it makes it easier to get that first shot off and even get that kill. So use the buildings as traps. It'll help a lot. The next tip is to collect resources. Now, this is something that we recently found to be extremely, extremely effective. Now, I know it sounds basic, collect resources so that you can build buildings, but so many people tend to screw up and do it wrong. They'll collect a lot of resources and they'll make one really epic base that's almost impossible to get through. The problem is that most of those bases end up not being in the final circle at the end of the game, so they have to move. So the trick is collect as many resources as you can at the beginning of the game. earlier tonight, we were getting like 600-700 metal bricks. Like, we were getting so much resources. And what we would do is we would build an effective base with all the materials that we needed, and we would camp there. And if we got lucky and the circle moved closer, we would make it a little bit bigger and a little bit better. In the same way, like if it kept getting closer and we didn't have to move, we would keep building on. But the thing is if the circle moves and you know that you have to leave that base, you're still going to have tons of materials and to make the same exact base that you just did in a different location. And then again, if you move to this new location and then the circle comes closer to you, you can start adding on and building it bigger. You always want to make sure that you have more materials so that when you get to the end, it's not just a firefight with nothing else. You always want to have bricks or metal or even wood to kind of give you that defense system there. So collect a lot of resources and make sure your teammates collect a lot of resources so they can help you out. It'll also help with getting revived. So if you go down, your teammate can build a wall around you or build a wall in front of you so that they're able to revive you a lot easier. The next tip is don't engage. So many people tend to engage, and I think that might be the biggest tip to actually win more. Don't engage people. So many people want to battle and think that they need to kill everyone. As a matter of fact, the best way to win this game is to not kill anyone at all until the very end. Let everyone else kill each other, which actually leads me into my next tip, which I'll kind of combine, and that's to play the perimeter of the storm circle. So if you're playing the perimeter, if you don't engage people and you try to stay low, I know right now one of the biggest things to do is just to hide in bushes in the storm circle because you can't see anyone. So if you hide in a bush or just kind of hide behind a tree or in a building somewhere, don't engage people. There's 100 people on the map. Let everyone else kill everyone else until you're the last maybe 5 to 10 people. Then start coming out and trying to kill people. I know you're going to get in situations where you need to shoot or people are going to find you and you're going to have to get in a gunfight. But if you do, if you're able to get out of it, turn around and run the other way. Don't put yourself in a position to die. I know that sounds kind of lame, like, wow, don't be that guy that's just going to hide the whole game. But if you want to win, the key is to stay low, to not make a lot of noise. So be very stealthy. Don't engage people that you don't need to, and play the perimeter of the storm circle. So anyway, guys, these are the tips. One more thing that I wanted to add to that, to the perimeter of the storm circle, actually, use the outside of the circle where the storm actually is. I know that you lose health when you run outside of it, but when people play the game, they tend to only focus on the inside of the circle. That's just the way the mind works, is because the game takes place inside the circle in the safe zone. No one cares about outside that purple line, that purple circle. So what you can do is you can actually flank people by running outside of the storm circle, and the chances of people seeing you are very, very low. We actually found that to work very, very well tonight. So if you know that you have plenty of health to play with, run outside of the storm circle and run around, and then come in on the backside, and people won't see you coming. You'll get a perfect flank on them. But anyway, guys, that's for the video. I hope you guys did enjoy these tips. If you guys have any more tips or have any comments, anything that'll help players out, including myself, make sure to leave them in the comment section down below. I hope you guys, again, did enjoy this video. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next video.